Welcome back, everybody, to another Q&A with Dr. J, who is raring to go on the topic of male pattern baldness. So if you have a guy in your life and he's nearby, bring him over so we can hear this. Go ahead, Dr. J.
Bring them on. Yeah, so we had a reader call in or a listener to call in and say, "Hey, could you do a session on male pattern baldness and where that comes from?" And so that's what we did. We do appreciate people having questions or topics that they want to hear more about. If you have something you want to hear about, please let us know. How do they let us know? Info at My Happy
Info
Gene?
at My Happy Genes, or they can leave a comment underneath the videos on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, okay. So, male pattern baldness, it's an interesting topic because it has to do with androgen receptors and a hormone called dihydrotestosterone. So, testosterone in the body we know as a male hormone, but women can have it too. We just have less of it. Men have more testosterone, but there are certain genetic variants that will cause testosterone to be made more readily into dihydrotestosterone. And dihydrotestosterone can damage hair follicles. So that's one of the problems. The prostate also has receptors for DHT or dihydrotestosterone, and it can lead to benign prostatic hypertrophy or growth of the prostate and prostate issues. So it's got a double whammy effect. Often when you see men with male pattern baldness, they have prostate issues because it's
Hmm.
the same hormone that's going to cause both of those issues. But one of the genes that we look at is called the androgen receptor. What it does is increase follicle sensitivity to dihydrotestosterone. And it's interesting because it's usually around here, around the top, but not back here. And that's why a lot of men have that pattern of bald on top, because those receptors are more sensitive to the dihydrotestosterone. And that is a hormone that damages the follicles. It's interesting. The second genetic variant is the SRD5A2, which converts testosterone to DHT and again hits people in the scalp and the prostate and can cause higher levels of DHT. And this is in the interactive chart. If you're using that, you can see it in the hormone pathway. We have a separate section on the interactive chart where we look at the biochemistry of the body that shows the testosterone being converted to DHT in there. Another genetic variant that can lead to issues is the SHBG that we test for, and that is the sex hormone binding globulin. And what it does is exactly what it says, sex hormone binding globulin. So it binds the sex hormones and controls free testosterone levels. So the lower the SHBG or sex hormone binding globulin, the more free testosterone, and the more that can convert to DHT. Insulin resistance can lead to lower levels of sex hormone binding globulin, and sex hormone binding globulin drops too as we age and can cause more issues, inflammation, as well as hair loss related to that one. So those are the main genetic variants that we look at. So how do we balance those? When we're doing the methylation, if we get the methylation patterns optimized, then it stops that. It keeps the testosterone from converting to DHT. Men really like it when their testosterone stays testosterone because they have more stamina and strength and better libido, and they just feel more masculine and strong. So there's a lot we can do to avoid that happening. And it's fascinating that it can keep men from losing their mojo, keeping their libido going, but also preventing them from aging faster and losing their muscle mass because testosterone really increases muscle mass. We get the methylation patterns balanced by looking at their genetic variants. The software that I've designed will design a supplement program. Again, has to be administered by a practitioner. But once you administer that, I have actually seen hair loss reverse. I've
Wow.
seen men coming in and going, "Look, I got peach fuzz. It's growing back," and they're super happy. So that's not a guarantee, but I have seen it happen, and it's fun. They love it. They feel better. They have more stamina, strength, energy, libido, and can stay vital much longer. It's a cool topic.
Yeah. So it's all about having Explain that again. You want to keep the testosterone, but too much testosterone turns to DHT?
Yeah, so if you have these genetic variants, the SRD5A2, it can increase the conversion of
Oh, the
testosterone to
conversion.
DHT.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's a problem. There's also a supplement you can use called Chrysin, Chrysin, that can block that conversion also to DHT and really help people with prostate issues and increased DHT. But when we get the methylation going, it balances those out. So again, as we age, sex hormone binding globulin goes down, free testosterone goes up, but it's overconverted then to DHT. And it's all about balance. Too much sex hormone binding globulin and all your testosterone is bound up. Too little and you overconvert to DHT. So again, with everything that we talk about, it's all about balance. Too high is bad, too low is bad too. And that's why I'm really passionate about getting the body balanced to where your body regulates that amount, that balance. So when you give the body the right exact nutrients based on your genetics, it knows how to do that. We don't have to micromanage it. We can let the body regulate those levels. And that's the best way to biohack. Because if you go in there and start giving a bunch of testosterone, you're going to create problems down the line. So it's too much to think about in your brain. I got to watch the DHT, and now I got to raise the testosterone, and we got to do this. Body knows how to do it. We just need to give it the right nutrients to do it and get it balanced.
I love it.
Yeah.
So all you men who are suffering Friar Tuck syndrome, which is that hair around the edges, remember that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry for you, honestly. And there might be something that can help. And especially as it relates to the prostate. Hair is a vanity thing, but I understand how crucial it is for us to feel good about our hair, men and women alike. But the prostate carries a little bit more of a potential for risk
Right.
if
So
it's
if
not
you,
healthy.
yeah, exactly. And so if you are somebody with male pattern baldness, and women can get it too, they can get that thinning up through here. But they don't have a prostate, which is good news. But the men who do might want to keep an eye on that prostate.
Yeah. Well, thanks for listening and watching, peeps. If you haven't already, please and subscribe, share, leave us a comment, let us know how you're enjoying these, what we're missing. We'd love to help you out. Dr. J and I will be back with another Q&A very soon. Bye, Dr. J.
Bye, GC.